So I will discuss how to find the equation of a straight line. So in this diagram, if we need to find the equation of this line AB, the formula we will be using is y minus y1 gradient x minus x1. So this is basically the formula of the gradient. If you just rearrange the formula of the gradient just by cross multiplying and all, you will get this line. So for any straight line, you need to know one single point, as in the line will pass through that point, right? So you can draw multiple lines depending on the gradient, right? So for each line, there is a fixed gradient. You need a fixed direction. So for any straight line, you need one point, as in one coordinate, suppose x1, y1, and you need the value for the gradient. So we will substitute the gradient and we will substitute the coordinate. Eventually, we will get the line. Okay, so let me just solve this example 1. Find the equation of a line passing through the point 1, 2, and 5, 6. Okay, so first of all, we need the gradient, right? So the gradient is y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So I will be using this formula. So 5, 6 is my second coordinate, 1, 2 is my first coordinate. I need the difference of the y coordinates, right? So 6 minus 2 and then 5 minus 1. So the gradient is 1. And then again, x1, y1 doesn't mean you need to use the first coordinate only. It's up to you. Even if you use the second coordinate, you will end up getting the same result. So the equation here is y minus y1 gradient x minus x1, right? So I will be substituting the values here. So the gradient m is 1, and let's use x1, y1 as 1, 2. So y1 means this 2, m is 1, x1 is the x coordinate 1. So simplifying this will give us x minus 1 plus 2. So the final result is x plus 1. So the equation of a straight line can also be expressed in a different format. Y equals mx plus c. You can also use this format where m is the gradient. M is the gradient. So as you can clearly see, the coefficient of x actually gives you the gradient. And c is the y-intercept, as in the point at which the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, so from here, if we compare this two, the gradient is actually 1. So these are the two formats of equation of a straight line. So I'm done with example 1, and next we will actually solve 2 more examples. So let's solve example 2 and example 3. So here we need to find the equation of a line which passes through 1, 2 and is parallel to the line this. So as we have already discussed in my previous video, parallel means the gradients will be same. So if we compare this with the general format, y equals mx plus c, in that case coefficient of x is the gradient. So here we can clearly see the gradient is actually 3. So the gradient is 3, and since the lines are parallel, in that case the gradient will be, the value for the gradient of our line is actually 3. So we are supposed to find the equation of a line which passes through 1, 2 and is parallel to a different line, which is this one. So you do not need to draw the diagram. I'm just using this to make things clear. So the gradient of this line is 3. So the gradient of my line is also 3. So gradient is 3, x1, y1 is 1, 2. So I will just substitute them into the formula. So y minus y is 2, gradient is 3. So the final line is 3x minus 1. Next, for example 3, we need to find the equation of a line passing through the point 1, 2 and is perpendicular to the line this. Okay, so the gradient here is 3, and for perpendicular you can use the formula m1 m2 minus 1, or you can directly use the shortcut version, as in the reciprocal, negative reciprocal, right? Negative reciprocal means 1 by 3. So the gradient of the perpendicular line is actually minus 1 by 3. So here you have the gradient and you have the coordinate, then we will just use the formula. So the equation is y minus y1 gradient x minus x1 So y minus y1 is 2, gradient is 1 by 3. So if we just cross multiply this 3 at the left side, it's 3y and 3 to the 6, and we have minus 1 here, so minus x plus 1. So 3y equals to minus x plus 7. So if nothing is mentioned, as in the format in which you need to keep your answer, in that case it's up to you. You can always subject y and shift everything at the right side. This is one of the format. Or there is this another format, as in you need to shift everything at the left side and you have 0 at the right side. So it's up to you which format you want to keep if the question doesn't mention anything. And one thing I would like to add, that when you are selecting the gradient, make sure it is at the format y equals to mx plus c. As in, at the left side, you are supposed to have only y. Y should be the subject of the equation. So if you have an equation like this, 2y equals minus 4x plus 7, you cannot directly pick the gradient as minus 4, because y is not the subject here. You need to subject y first. So it should be minus 2x plus 7 by 2. This is the general format, mx plus c. Now you can pick the gradient as minus 2. So I hope this is clear. That's how you actually find equation of a straight line. You just need to find the coordinate and the gradient. So the gradient could be given as in like this. You might have 2 points. In that case, you have to calculate the gradient. And in this 2 example math, the gradient is directly not given. It is related to a different straight line. If the lines are parallel, you can directly pick the gradient. If the lines are perpendicular, you need to convert the gradient using the reciprocal formula thing. Okay, so that's it. That's about the equation of the line.